And welcome back once again to another edition of Sports Talk, our spring training series as we talk to you here in, mid-March right now as we come to you live on a Monday and a record on a Monday if you're listening to it later on in the week. Kind of talking some baseball today. We're getting to a little USF Basketball once again. They're heading to their conference championship tournament coming up later in the week, and some other things going on in the world of sports. And, of course, Doug Miles along with Don Henderson. And, Don, I know you had a chance last week when we talked. You went out to see a couple of games at Ed Smith where the Orioles trained. Good article today in the New York Post about one of their rising stars.
Yeah, no question about that. And John Heyman, who does a terrific job covering the Yankees, he covers all of sports, but primarily in New York. But this particular edition today in the Post is about Holiday's son, who's 20 years of age, but looks, he's kid's a little bit in the beginning of the column. He looks like he's 16, but he's 20. And what a great shot he has to make the parent club. What a great minor league system all of a sudden the Orioles have come up with Gunnar Henderson last year being the rookie of the year, and now Holiday's son, really the hottest prospect. He's the number one prospect coming up, and looks like he might make the club this year as a second baseman rather than a shortstop. That's really the deterrent to him coming to the major leagues. It's the fact that he is going to have to move and play second base, and whether he's going to be able to play enough during spring training to acquit himself well at second base as well as shortstop. But he's off red hot, hitting the ball, and had a grand slam home run yesterday, and looks like he's a real diamond in the rough right now.
Yeah, Matt Halliday, of course, his father, who played for the Cardinals for many years. His uncle also played professional baseball, Josh Halliday. So kind of like the Alou family in a sense, right? Fathers and sons.
Yeah, and Josh is out there at Oklahoma as a coach. And, of course, his other brother is going to school, going to go to college. And then I don't know whether he wants to, whether he has aspirations of going into Major League Baseball or not. But it looks like he's going to go to college first, whereas in this particular case, the younger brother went right from high school, got married, and went right to the minor leagues for 2 years and ready to go to the major leagues if he can make it.
Orioles tearing it up in the Grapefruit League. Records obviously don't mean anything once this Grapefruit League ends in about two and a half weeks, but they are 14-2 on the spring season so far. So Oriole fans get excited to, like we talked last week, to hopefully match what they did last year, and then hopefully for them advance further in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're doing a great job right now, and at the same time, split squads yesterday played. And we've seen that here in Sarasota, where a lot of the clubs, the Yankees, the Baltimore, the Phillies, have split squads. So I don't know how many games of the 14-2 are actually legitimate, full squad games, or whether half squad games or what they are. But anyway, you're right, 14-2, they're red hot and really hitting the ball well. We also should mention that. They're not the only red hot prospect coming up through the minor leagues. Jones's son, Andrew Jones, who played for the Braves for so many years and was such an outstanding center fielder. His son was the number 2 pick, right behind Holliday. Right. So looks like he's going to be, if he doesn't get up there this year, he's going to be very, very close to getting to the major leagues as well.
Attendance has been good. I mean, you went to the Yankee game last week. Of course, that's always well attended wherever the Yankees go, but they've been drawing well. And we get the emails from the team, the PR department, the economic impact. They always give that report out throughout the spring. And people in Sarasota, or at least the government officials and some of the local businesses, I guess, are pretty happy with that, making some good money.
Well, you're exactly right. They talk about it. I don't know how legitimate it is, but they talk about the immediate impact. And you're right. I mean, they really have. Of course, the minor league, as you indicated, 14-2. They're a red hot ball club right now. At the same time, that always helps. Bring some fans in too. So they have done a great job at the box office. And hey, the prices aren't cheap.
Yeah, we've talked about that over the years. Used to be like when you covered back with the Phillies up in Clearwater and all that. It was $2 or $3, maybe $5 tops. Now it's pretty much the same price as regular season tickets. Most of these games.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have the premium games like the Yankee games and the Red Sox games are premium games. So they jumped the price up there, and of course they jumped the price on the parking too. So it's a little bit of an expense to go to a ball game right now if you're in Florida or you're in Arizona. I
Right.
don't know the price of it. You're in Arizona, so you know better than I do. I haven't been to an Arizona game, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out here visiting, kind of helping out my sister a little bit, and I haven't been up to the Phoenix and northern part of the state where all the teams train. I'm down in the Tucson area, but I was talking to somebody last week who went up to see the Dodgers play, and he just got a general admission, kind of the lowest ticket he could get for the Dodgers was $40. And he had a beer, and he said the beer was 17. So that gives you an idea what they're charging for the Dodger games,
Well,
anyway.
well, they're right up there too, and I think the Dodgers have been on TV a lot. I mean, MLB is the I don't know whether because of the time
Otani, right?
sequence. Of course, we went to daylight. I don't know, went off daylight saving time on Sunday night
Right.
or Saturday night. And so maybe it's because of the time or something like that. It's better, but the Dodgers have been on quite a bit. I've seen maybe 4 or 5 Dodger games already.
And of course, Otani. Anytime he's at bat, they want to show that, right? With the Dodgers.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And he only, as you indicated last week, not pitching any longer because of the surgery on his elbow, but he is primarily a designated hitter. That's what he does.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about the Dodgers, they will actually start their regular season. I believe it's the 20th. They have a 2 or 3 game, I think it's a 2-game series with the Padres. They got to fly over to Seoul, Korea, South Korea.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Makes
that
no
either.
sense to me, but those games actually count in the standings.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't understand why they're football and baseball now. They think they have to become a world product. And football has extended their National Football League, extended their games now. They're playing more than I think they used to play 2. Now they maybe playing 3 or 4 between Mexico, Berlin, Italy.
Brazil next year, right? Don't they play Brazil? The Eagles. Yeah.
The Eagles are Brazil. I mean, they're the first game of the season. I've taken the game away from Philadelphia and moved it to Brazil. Now, I guess Mr. Toes has agreed to do it, but I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah, well, it might be the other team's home game. They haven't announced who that is yet. Usually, it's like a Jacksonville or a crummy team, but they don't care about losing a home date as much as the better teams. I don't know. Is that a Phillies home game? Have they said?
It was an Eagles home game. Yeah, I believe it's an Eagles home game, and they gave it up. Yeah,
but the league actually pays the difference, don't they? Don't they make it up to these teams, the loss of revenue from concessions and all that, the parking?
I don't want to say that because I don't know what the rules are on that.
I thought they did.
We'll
I could be wrong. Yeah.
You may be closer to it than I am. I have not seen any, to be honest with you. I've never seen a financial rundown on what they do when they go abroad, whether they, as you indicate, whether they make up the difference or what. I mean, the Eagles sell out every game, so I mean, I don't know.
I know Jacksonville,
because
Jacksonville always gets those 1, sometimes 2 foreign games a year because they don't draw well, or hadn't at least until the last couple of years where they were better. And I read that the league actually, they made more money from the league compensating them than if they just had the regular ticket sales at home. So maybe I think the Eagles aren't going to lose money on it, but the concession people do. The people that work there, those jobs, those days, they don't make any money.
Absolutely, but as I say, I don't know what the breakdown is, so I don't want to mislead anybody and say I know because I don't.
Well, we just mentioned about the 2 games that count, San Diego and the Dodgers. But then I think they did that a couple of years ago. I think that might have been the Dodgers then. Some 2 teams went over to Japan, and then they came back and played more exhibition games before the regular season started. So it makes no sense to me.
No. Well, as I say, they're trying to broaden this.
But they don't want to have the long travel, I guess, if they started, April, whatever, 1st or 2nd, and then have to come back and play 2 days later in the States after all the long flight. Maybe that's why.
Uh, Talk to the commissioner.
We'll get him
You
on.
have firsthand. Yeah, you have firsthand connection with the
I'm sure
commissioner.
Rob
Give him a
Manfred would
call.
love to come on with us. He has plenty of time. I never hear him do interviews. Do you? I never hear him go on shows. Maybe he does. I never see it, but he'll do his
He hasn't
he'll
done a
do his
lot.
little state of the baseball speeches every once in a while. But you never hear him go on a show.
Yeah, I think he did the fan in New York earlier this year.
Does he do the fan once in a while? Okay. Yeah.
I think he did it just before spring training started. I think he did a section with on the fan, but I'm not positive about that, but I think so.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with baseball. We mentioned before, I'm out here in Tucson for a while visiting, but had a chance this weekend, kind of fun opportunity to go help out with the Golf Channel. The senior tour, now called the Champions Tour, had an event out here, Color Guard Classic, at a Jack Nicklaus course out here. Very tough course, very hilly. It's built right in the side of the, right near the mountains, but had a chance to do that. Good tournament. Stuart Sink looked like he was going to win it after he had a great round Saturday, but couldn't hold on. Didn't have a great round yesterday. And Joe Durant, kind of a journeyman golfer on the regular tour, and then, of course, now on the senior tour, he wins the tournament. So a good win for him, but it was fun.
That's unusual because Sink is usually a closer. He's on the regular tour for so many years, did such a great job. Still plays every now and then on the regular tour, but you were indicating to me some of which surprised me. I would have thought that they would have made the courses so easy for fans to get to, but you said this particular venue, you have to park like 3 miles, 4 miles away, and then they bus you in to the golf course. You can't park there anywhere.
No, this is the first year at this particular course. It's one of the Westin resorts. Built it right next to the hotel. Used to be at another course that I'm told was much easier to get to, but this one literally, the volunteers had a parking lot, and the spectators too at a shopping mall, which was about 5 miles away, and you had to get a shuttle bus to and from. So they had some decent crowds, but not huge galleries. But yeah, little odd, I thought.
Yeah, I just think that would be very, very, excuse me, very, very difficult, especially, for a senior tour but I guess you're in an area where it's maybe the only chance they get to see the seniors play, so they don't mind, shuttling in 5 miles away. I would just think that's a surprise.
Yeah, I had a chance when they had tournaments at TPC and Prestantia at Sarasota. They used to have a senior event called the Chrysler Cup, and then they had a regular tour event there for many years. That ended, I guess, about 2000. But that, of course, had much better parking facilities. Even though it's a private course, you could park there, so that was a different situation. But it was still fun. But yeah, we helped out with the Golf Channel doing that. And I know the Arnold Palmer was yesterday. I just saw a little bit while I was in the volunteer tent before and after. It looked like it was a pretty easy win. Was it Schofer won by 5 shots, right?
Yeah, Scotty won it easily. Shot 66 on the final round, which was really outstanding. And he'd been having trouble. They had a big story about him just before the tournament started. The difficulty with his putter, so he got himself another putter, and boy, oh boy, he did a job. And it was very interesting to watch it because he almost led all the way, and he was ahead 4 or 5 strokes all day yesterday. And he putted very, very well with this new putter, and he won it going away. So I guess he's going to stick with this one.
Yeah, that's one of the top tournaments every year. And, of course, they're on the Florida Swing right now. There's an event coming up in the Tampa Bay region in a couple of weeks, up Palmetto, I believe. No, Palmyra. I think it's Palmyra, up a little bit north of St. Petersburg. I went there a few years ago. Tiger was originally scheduled to play that, but he announced, I guess, over the weekend he's out for a couple of weeks and probably won't be back till the Masters.
Yeah, I thought he'd be back maybe and play the Players because that's really a tournament that the players are very concerned about. Yeah, they want to keep that going and make it more and more popular. It's a great, great course. And unfortunately, he announced last week that he was not going to play. And he's still really, quite honestly, unless maybe you've seen something out there that I haven't seen where he said he's going to play the Masters yet.
I don't know if he officially announced he wasn't, but he did announce he was not going to play in the players this week. And of course, they had hoped he'd be playing up in the Tampa Bay region with that tournament. I guess the Valspar, I think that's what it's called still, but he won't be
Yes.
doing that either. So. Yep.
No, he played. He played last week. We talked a little bit about it. He was going to play on Monday. We were doing the show last Monday, and he played on an individual course down there close to where he lives, at a sort of a club tournament. But I haven't heard him say anything about the Masters yet, which surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, nothing going on there. But we'll keep an eye on what's going on in the world of golf as well. And basketball, we want to mention again, as we've been covering USF since they've had a tremendous season. And then they did lose their last game of the season Sunday, but didn't really mean anything. They'd already clinched the regular season title. They lost to, I believe it was, who did they lose to? So Charlotte, I believe. It doesn't really matter. But they will now wait for the play-in game, and they are the number one seed, USF. They will play that school on Friday, 1 o'clock, in the AAC tournament. It's in Texas this year.
Yeah, JMU's in the same boat. They've won, I think, 10 in a row now, or maybe 11 in a row. They had one short fall in the middle of the season where they dropped 3 games, but they're in second place, and they're in the same situation. They've got to win the conference championship game to get into the tournament, and that comes up this week, during the week this week. And we'll see how JMU does. My youngest boy follows that pretty closely. He went to JMU, so he follows it. And told me I hadn't seen the game on Saturday. It was not on TV. So they did win. They're in the finals, but they've got to beat the team that had won had won the regular season conference, and now they got to beat them in the tournament if they want to get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, same thing with USF. Actually, Tulsa beat them. It was Tulsa 76-70 they lost on Saturday. But, yeah, I would think South Florida probably has to win the tournament outright. Maybe they'll squeeze in if they make it to the final championship game of the tournament. But I think they're ranked 24th right now. But if they get knocked out in the first or second round, I think that would hurt them. I think they really have to win this tournament to get a bid in the tournament in the NCAA.
Yeah, the Post also breaks down some of the, Villanova is one of the teams that's, they say it's going to be in, but it's on the bubble. St. John's, I think they have to do something in the tournament to get in. Their record does not substantiate them getting into the NCAA tournament. So we'll just have to wait to see. There's those fringe teams at the bottom. Sometimes they need a hole. They put one in. So we'll see whether these teams get in or they don't get in.
Yeah. Rick Pitino's been in making some comments lately, and I have to agree with some of what he says. He's not one of my favorite guys to listen to, but I do agree with him that whole NIL thing and the portal. He makes sense as far as the game is completely different and very difficult for coaches to keep teams together.
Well, he took a lot of portal people last year, so he can't complain about it. They didn't fare quite as well as he thought they were.
No.
He got a little bit of a filibuster at the beginning of the season about how good they were going to be, and then they found themselves 3 games under 500, but they did win the last, I think, 4 or 5 games in a row. So they're right there. I think they've got to at least get to the quarterfinals of the Big East tournament, or I don't think they have a chance to get in.
Yeah, you and I talked about this off the air, I think. Surprised that he would even want to bother still coaching. He's got enough money. He's had enough money for years. Then he went to Greece, I believe, after that whole scandal with Kentucky. And then he coached Iona for a couple of years just to kind of keep his hand in it, I guess. He was hoping for another job and got the St. John's job. But I don't know. Just seems to me, go out and enjoy your retirement, if you ask me. But I guess he just doesn't want to sit at home and do nothing.
No, absolutely. I'll tell you, the New York Post have really given him a tremendous following all year.
Oh, every day they had something with him. Yeah.
Right, they're with them every day, with every game, and so we'll see.
He's a Long Island guy. But people don't know he grew up in Long Island. So, yeah.
Right. Well, they kept saying, he's going to really turn this program around, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. And then it didn't happen. Some of the people that he brought in didn't play nearly as well as he thought they were going to, and it just didn't happen. But it looks like the last 4 or 5 games, they've got the team together to play a little bit better. I think they beat Creighton two games back or something, but they've lost a lot of games to lesser teams. So what they had is Villanova the same way. Villanova's lost to Penn, they lost to Drexel, they lost to St. Joe's. So we'll just have to wait and see whether the teams that are definitely not going to get in the NCAA tournament. So we'll see whether St. John's weathers the storm and gets in.
And the thing is, it's very difficult for them to recruit anymore. I mean, they used to be, obviously one of the top programs in the country, even though they didn't have a great arena, though they played a lot of their games at Madison Square Garden. Now they play a lot of home games at the arena at Belmont Park. But it's a tough recruit because the campus is kind of a city campus in a sense in Queens, and other schools have better campuses and better facilities to offer. So it's a tough recruit. Even though it's New York, it's tough to get the top players there.
Well, I think that's one of the things that they brought him in because he's a New Yorker, as you indicated, and he knew the difficulties going in. And this was a great opportunity for him to get back into major coaching. And so we'll see how he does next year. He's already got, I think, I read the other day, maybe it was last week, that he got one of the number 1 recruits in New York, a guard. I can't remember the name of the school that but the kid has already pledged to go to St. John's, which is a big pickup for next year.
Right. So that'll be happening soon. We'll keep an eye on the conference tournaments coming up later in the week. And Don, you had a good conversation, I know, with Hall of Famer Jim Cott last week. We posted that up on our YouTube channel, so people can go listen to that if they like. Just go to our Doug Miles Media channel on YouTube. But good conversation with old Jim.
Yeah, I'll say he 86, I think.
85, 86,
sure. I think
right.
Yeah, somewhere there. And 283 games he won, over 2,000 strikeouts. Just took him a long time to get into the Hall of Fame, which was a shame because you match his numbers against any one of these people that are playing now, and it's a joke. So, but congratulations, Jim. It was terrific talking to him. Knew him when he was with the Philadelphia Phillies, and at the same time finished his career in St. Louis. But a great part of the broadcast team with the New York Yankees for, I think he said 11 years.
11 years, right?
And then with with Bob Costas on MLB. So he's had a great career broadcasting and a great career as a player. So, and a terrific guy. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him about his golf. He's also a great golfer too.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah. I just haven't had a chance to talk to him about it, but maybe you get him on a little later on, a couple weeks down the line.
Yeah, I know you're going to try and contact him. We'll try and get him on. Yep.
Yeah, we'll not only talk about baseball, but we'll talk a little bit about his golf. We'll talk about his broadcasting, and we didn't have enough time on the show the other night to get into delve into long range things, whereas you and I have a little more time.
Great. Well, that'll wrap it up for this, again, a spring training edition. So, Don, I know you'll probably head out to a game or two during the week, and we'll keep an eye on what's going on out here while we're here. We'll be back soon back in Sarasota, but kind of covering both coasts for a while.
Take care, partner. We'll do it again next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you again soon.